Now, people living in Ilfracombe have been telling Spotlight that their town has never fully recovered from the loss of its rail service.
The line to the resort closed as part of the beaching cuts, which were announced 50 years ago today. Hundreds of thousands of people came to resorts right across the southwest by rail. Places like Ilfracombe, Seaton, Bude and Padstow saw a massive change when services stopped.
Well, in the second of his special reports, Hamish Marshall has been looking at the impact on places which suffered cuts and those which survived the beaching acts.
In the first 60 years of the 20th century, the train was the way to get to the seaside.
Favourite drink on the Devon Bell is called the Spirit of Drake. Drink enough of it and you'll see 4 times as well.
Trains like the Pullman Devon Bell brought thousands to coastal resorts from all over the country. Ilfracombe had up to 24 trains per day.
500 people perhaps in one train would get out at Ilfracombe, and the other side of the platform, the up platform, there'd be, well, 5 or 6 coaches with 500 or more trying to get back on the train to get back to Manchester.
There were often more tourists than places for them to stay.
I can remember people banging on the door 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Have you got any room? We'll sleep in the lounge, we'll sleep in the passage, we don't mind where. And they'd come on the train without booking, and they just arrived in Ilfracombe and they would be looking all over the town for somewhere to stay. All that went.
Beaching reckoned the cost of keeping coaches, engines and maintaining lines for the few profitable days cost around 7 times the revenue they brought in. His figures are often disputed, but when he cut services, resorts suffered due to poor road links and competition from the foreign package holiday.
Mum and Dad found a difference in the booking because people, as I say, didn't want to go on coaches where they went on a train which was better.
Brinley Prust has happy memories of driving trains and says Ilfracombe still hasn't come to terms with the loss of the railway 43 years on.
It wasn't the same place. It got to be a crummy old place because the visitors wasn't coming and people couldn't afford to pay to keep the place up. This place went down the chute and I don't think it ever recovered. I honestly don't.
On Devon's south coast, there's now a half-hourly service connecting Exeter to Exmouth. Beaching proposed the closure of both of Exmouth's lines. The route via Sidmouth did go, but the line along the ex-estuary survived and now carries more passengers than ever. In 1965, Spotlight featured the impending closure of the St Ives branch.
The end of the line. As a confirmed sentimentalist, I hope enough objectors come forward to make sure it isn't for this one.
And it wasn't. Like Lewes and Gunners Lake, St Ives remained on the rail map.
The difficult roads in the area, putting on a replacement bus service along the East Lewes Valley up to Liskeard, would have been impossible. And the same with Gunners Lake as well. It was the local geography of the area and the poor roads meant that replacement bus services could not be laid on. So those lines were reprieved and we've still got them today.
And how many more could also be thriving if they'd been given the chance.